Hi everybody, this is my first YouTube video. I'm just getting started, so don't know how this works. I want to start doing these videos because Pioneer is a great company to work with. They send me information and they teach us stuff all year long, and throughout the year so often I'm wondering who I've told what to and who needs to know something. And the last thing I want to do is stand in a field in summertime and see a problem that could have been stopped or not have happened had I just communicated properly in the spring before seeding. So to avoid that, I want to send out information to everybody. This first video is only going to be on soil temperature. It's not going to be too in-depth because I'm just learning how to do this. The next video will be on seed treatments, 1,000 kernel weights, survivability, target plant populations, and try to figure out our seeding rate, what we should be shooting for. That'll be coming. I'm going to go in the office to do that one where it's nice and warm. Some of the great things that we get from Pioneer are that they have tons and tons of data coming to us on a regular basis. We get information from other farmers because all the Pioneer reps are farmer dealers, and we all do field size tests. We do a variety tests every year, whole strips, half mile long, none of this small plot data. So we get real data information, and we get it from all the dealer reps right across North America. So I have access to all these tests that they do, all the different trials, not just variety versus variety, but also agronomy stuff. One example is this year, Pioneer sent out an email saying we want to do a few more tests on row spacing in soybeans and corn. So we, as one of the dealers, decided we are going to do one of these tests because it is a area specific item. So this year we're going to do a 7.5 inch spacing, solid seeded with an air seeder. We're going to plug every second row, do 15 inch solid seeding space with soybeans, and then a 15 inch with a planter, 20 inch with a planter, and 30 inch with a planter. Now, other dealers across North America are doing the same thing. It doesn't mean as much coming from Iowa, but we're going to have some other dealers local to Manitoba doing it as well, and we're going to have access to all this data from all these different trials, not just our own. So we're going to get some good data from that, but over the past 50 years, all these trials are online and available to me. So we can look back at any trial done, and I know it was done by a farmer in whatever area it is, and we can decide if it's relevant information or not. So when I have all this information coming at me, some of it I want to share with you guys. I figure this is a good way to do it. I'm always wondering, have I told the right person the right thing? This way everybody can hear everything. And still come in for coffee. We could talk about specific things because everybody has their own management practices. Everybody's a little different. So today, soil temperature, quite simple. What you need is a thermometer, and I just took a thermometer. It had the plastic on it. I made marks with a permanent marker where 0, 5, 10, and 15 degrees is, and then I tore the plastic off so that it's just the thermometer left. Not very fancy at all. This is very fancy. Nice little Pioneer depth marker, and you basically hold it like that, and then you push it into the depth that you want. Now for canola will start absorbing moisture at 2 degrees. It's not when you want to seed. So a lot of guys also say 4 to 6. So the time of the day that you check your soil temperature makes a big difference. We're talking about average temperatures. So if you check it first thing in the morning, you're going to have your lowest temperature of the day. And if you check it just before the sun goes down or late in the evening, you're going to have the highest temperature for the day. You could take an average, or you could go sometimes in between where it's kind of a good estimate of when the average temperature is. Now, working the soil beforehand will blacken the soil, make it warm up faster, obviously. But the problem also with working the soil is there's more air in there. It'll warm up faster, but at nights it'll also cool down faster. More reason to just check to make sure your morning and evening temperatures, they will vary a lot more once you work the soil. For cereals, 6 degrees is what we're looking for. If you're pushing it and going a little early, seed treatment is probably something you can can look at. If it's 8 degrees already, seed treatments less needed. I'm going to talk about seed treatments in the next video because it affects your survivability ratio, and then of course your seeding rate changes. So I'll be talking about seed treatments in the next video as well. Corn specifically, you want to go down to 1 3/4 inch with the seeds, so you have to check your soil temperature at 1 3/4 inch instead of 1 inch. This year, actually, 1 3/4 inch at this time is a little warmer than 1 inch. I guess we're warming from the ground up as opposed from the air down, but that will probably change as the sun starts to be more of a factor on the soil. So 1 3/4 inch for your corn, that's where you want to put your seed, and that's where you want to check your temperature. And last but not least, soybeans. Soybeans is probably the biggest reason we're doing this video. It's the one that's influenced by soil temperature the most. We are told that 12 degrees soil temperature is what you should be shooting for. I know we've already been pushing it and going at 10. And going at 10 is alright. We've been getting away with it. Again, seed treatments, if you're pushing it, is the way to go. If you're past 12 degrees, seed treatment's less important. So 10 degrees at the earliest, and that's at the 1/2 inch, 1 inch, whatever we're seeding it at that you're looking for. Now the biggest thing with soybeans is the soil temperature that it's at. Also look at the forecast. It takes 24 hours for that seed to absorb moisture. After 24 hours, it's done absorbing moisture. What we're doing by checking soil temperature is not checking what the soil temperature is, and we're checking to see what the moisture temperature is. It's the moisture that's going into your seed. That moisture has to be 12 degrees. So it has to be that 12 degrees for 24 hours. So that's why we always look for the forecast when we're seeding our soybeans. If we're already at 12 degrees, less likely, but especially if we're at 10 degrees, really have to pay attention to the forecast as well. Now this 12 degrees for soybean seeding, I'd like to say that it's a widely held debate across North America, but it's not. It seems to only be being debated here in our area. Everywhere that they seed soybeans, 12 degrees is what they wait for. Nobody anywhere has told me that it's okay to go earlier than that. But yet we've been hearing a lot in the area that you can go earlier. This basically is bad advice. I'd like to say it some other way, but there is nobody who seeds soybeans, who have been seeding soybeans, that would ever agree with that statement. Be careful. So I'm going to take this back to the office and try to figure out how to put it on YouTube, and hopefully you guys will be seeing it soon. The other ways to keep in touch, I'm on Twitter, and if I know what I'm doing, right here across the bottom of the screen is going to be my Twitter address. But there's a really good chance that won't happen. I promise I don't Twitter a bunch of garbage. It's all agriculture stuff and some James Reimer stuff. But other than that, agriculture and James Reimer, that's it. That's all I ever talk about on Twitter. So I won't fill your phone up with garbage if you do follow me. And remember, the goal is to have a uniform stand with a plant population in your target zone in June. Getting finished seeding is not our goal. Our goal is to have a nice crop in June. So seeding is what we do to achieve that goal, and we only get one shot at it a year. So I don't think having too much information is a bad thing. So we're going to try to get as much information out there as possible, and hopefully everybody has a safe seeding. Down, 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 lay down. Yeah, that worked. We're gonna shut.
Jersey.
Oh.
Sit. Stay.
Most, and again.
I thought it was big truck.
It's a little pup. Constantly giving me information, research data, and things that way beyond what I need and what I